New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani is threatening a last resort option if he can't convince Kathy Hochul, the governor, to enact a statewide wealth tax. He's going to raise property taxes by nearly 10%. Mamdani on Tuesday unveiled his first preliminary budget proposal of $127 billion, which is a $5 billion increase from the current budget.
Here was Mamdani issuing a warning while presenting his budget over raising property taxes. Let's listen.
The first is the most sustainable and the fairest path. This is the path of ending the drain on our city and raising taxes on the richest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. And if we do not go down the first path, the city will be forced down a second, more harmful path. Faced with no other choice, the city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes. We would also be forced to raid our reserves.
Now, Mamdani's statements appeared like an ultimatum for Governor Kathy Hochul, who is running for re-election and has been blunt about her opposition to this wealth tax. Hochul recently told reporters, quote, "I'm not supportive of a property tax increase. I don't know that's necessary, but let's find out what is really necessary to close the gap."
Democratic Socialist Mamdani's proposed budget factors in a 9.5% increase in property taxes and withdrawing $980 million from the city's rainy day funds in 2026. The budget would also withdraw $229 million from the Retiree Health Benefits Trust in the next fiscal year. The final budget, after negotiations and approval by the City Council, will take effect on July 1st. They're running out of money. Liberals overspending. We can just cut services. That's what I would do. I wouldn't raise taxes at all.
Okay, well,
I would cut those benefits for retirees. Oof, that's the first thing to go.
You always want to. Never mind. I'm not going down this path with you about people who are older than us.
Throwing Grammy off the cliff. You're right.
Yeah, you're ridiculous. He didn't say he has to go down path 2. Let's go over and paint the picture for path 1. He wants to raise state personal income taxes by 2% on, let me finish, people making over $1 million annually. We discussed this in another segment months ago. That will only be around $20,000 for people making $1 million a year. He's suggesting that, but he needs approval from Governor Hochul, who is worried more about her reelection.
I hope she doesn't.
Let me finish. Who's worried more about her reelection than things that will be long-term sustainable changes that she can help New York out. So she's putting him in a position where Mamdani is trying to be a man of his word who campaigned on doing certain things and is saying, well, if I have to go nuclear, here's the plan B. Option 2 is the one that we just discussed in this read-in, which people don't really like because it's going to make a tight squeeze for more than just the millionaires. And so he discussed with a millionaire who said, I might be leaving New York. I saw a segment where he broke down, well, it's only going to be about $20,000 over a year. And they were like, really? We thought it was going to be, because the way that the media is making it seem is like all your money, every single coin is going away.
Reach into your pocket, Lindsay.
I don't have pockets.
Take your wallet.
I don't have pockets.
And then I'm going to go through, this is mine. Oh, it's not that much. Here you go. I just stole a little bit of your money.
No, the country is doing so much for you. With our capitalist society is doing so much for you. Give back a little bit more
so much for me,
to take away
so much for the retirees.
Take away the most vulnerable people. Just need a little bit more help. You can't just give a little bit extra.
Blah blah blah. Most vulnerable people is elderly Americans who are hoarding all the wealth in our society anyway.
No, that's not what people who are literally struggling with health insurance costs right now because Republicans failed to do anything about health insurance, anything meaningful or real. You know, the president proposed some random big idea that he just threw a title on that had no context.
Here's a big
and no
idea.
Details.
How
do you plan on taking care of people
running your
who
life
paid?
Is your problem, not someone else's, and not the society.
Well, you're on an island alone. There's a lot of people
that?
who care about the elderly in our country and care to see that they have the proper and adequate care, especially as we're in this window where a lot of people our age have young kids and then are also taking care of aging parents. And so to be in straddling both of those things, there's a lot of people who would wholly disagree with you about wanting to make sure that Medicaid,
because of the money they have to pay into Medicare and Social Security. Go ahead.
I just think that a lot of people will think that you're lacking empathy in a really serious topic in our country, and elderly people should be covered.
It's called suicidal empathy. I don't lack for empathy. I feel a great deal of empathy for young people who are delaying starting families, who can't afford to buy houses, who couldn't afford childcare and thus are not having children because of the amount of wealth that's being confiscated from our generation and younger people to make sure, our great-grandparents can go on a bunch of cruises this year.
Coming up, podcaster David Remnick, press conservative commentator Ben Shapiro on President Trump's business dealings. Stick around for my list.